All right. Now, for this next part, this next part we're about to go through is really the, even though we're going to have a lot more fun with a couple of more particular activities, this next part is really the crescendo, the most important part of the seminar. Because if human beings are all about relationships, then the transaction capital of relationships is what? Communication, right? And are we generally, in this country, really good at adaptive communication? Some of us are. I will freely admit that. But I think most of us aren't. I think most of us could actually do a few things to be better communicators. And what would you say the biggest problem we have in this country with communication is? Listening. Okay, so we're going to work on this a little bit. Now, you guys have these cards, and what I'd like you all to do now is get these cards out in front of you. And I'd like you to have them not on the branching chart side, but on the colored box side. Now, I'm going to quickly introduce the basic attributes in terms of the way the different colors communicate. But then the big thing I'm going to do is we're going to go over some do's and don'ts once you recognize a particular color, to give you some information about how you can be more adaptive. Then we're going to do a really super fun activity where you're going to call on this information. Does that sound good? All right. Does that sound good? Hey, thank you very much. Yes, everybody hold up your hand like this. Ooh, ah, yeah. Ooh, ah, yeah. All right. Now, this first part up here is on the screen. The next 4 slides after this are actually off your card. You'll generally find that detailed blue communicators they ask extremely detailed questions. Somewhat reserved, we've already identified that. More of a business, formal focus. Very little facial expression. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Relatively little facial expression. And if you ask them a question, chances are they'll be what right after you ask the question? Silence. While they're doing what? Processing, because what kind of an answer do they want to give you? The correct one. One that's all thought through. That gives you all the detail that you obviously want, right? If you have somebody communicating to you from green space, they're going to be slower to approach, relatively slower speech. They may be hesitant when they're replying, and there'll also be pauses for replying. Now let's pause for a moment and consider this. The pause between a blue response and a green response is going to be there in both cases. But the pause and the analysis that's happening on the blue side is all around what kind of information? Analytical, facts. They want to give you the right facts. They want to give you the right process. When green pauses, after you've asked them a question, what type of information are they internally processing? Feelings. They don't want to what? Anybody. They don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. They want to say the right thing that's not going to alienate anyone. Is that right? But still internal processing. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, when we go over to the next one, it's going to be sunshine yellow, direct red. Direct, inner certainty. They may interrupt. They have very focused questions. And even if they want information from you, it might seem like they already have all the answers figured out. Asking you is just a formality. Right? You guys know what I'm talking about?
There's confirmation.
Yeah. And then finally, with dynamic yellow, sociable, enthusiastic, outgoing, faster paced, smiles more and more, gestures, but at times can seem like they're not taking it very seriously. Like they're kind of flippant. Does that make sense? They're not really thinking about what they're saying. Does that ever happen to you guys? Anybody else that's in yellow space? I see a few yellow lays around here. Anybody ever say anything without thinking too much about it? Being flippant? Okay, these do's and don'ts we're about to go over are on your cards. Let's start with blue. Do with blue, be well prepared and thorough. If you're going to have a meeting with blue, you need to know your facts and stuff, right? Put things in writing and let them consider all the details. Now, to put things in writing, Brian, would you agree? That when you're getting facts from someone, you'd much rather have it in the form of in the form of an email, rather than what? Verbally over the phone or in a hallway discussion. Is that right? Put things in writing. Don't get too close or hug them. Don't be flippant on important issues. And don't ever, 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 if you detect a blue, just do something differently because we want to do it different this time. Because that drives blue crazy, doesn't it? Now, notice where the don'ts are positioned. Where are the don'ts positioned? Have you guys tumbled to this yet? I think a lot of you have figured it out. The opposite of blue is who? Yellow. And the opposite of yellow is who? Blue are our introverted thinkers. Yellow are our extroverted feelers. All right? So who's most likely to do the don'ts to blue? Yellow. All right? Do you agree? Generally, when you're in yellow space? Now, flipping it over to yellow, do. Be friendly and sociable, entertaining and stimulating, open and flexible. Don't bore me with the details, tie me down with routine, and ask me to work alone. Does yellow energy, when in yellow space, do you like to work alone? No. You like to be around people, right? You have to share and generate that energy. How about when you're in blue space? Do you like to work alone? You think people need focus? Yes, they do. But not when you're in yellow space. Let's go to the other side. With green, do. Be patient and supportive. Slow down. Work at my pace. And red, if you're going to ask my opinion, give me time to answer. You know what I'm talking about? Don't take advantage of me. Don't push me. Don't spring last-minute surprises. And I thought I had another one there, but the last-minute surprises, that's one, right? Tell me how you guys like last-minute surprises. I still haven't learned this lesson with my son. Do I like to change things up all the time? Sometimes it even bugs you, right, Mary? Yeah, all the time, all right? But my son likes to know a week in advance exactly how things are going to go and exactly what we're going to do. And I'm constantly changing his routine without notice. And can that be stressful? Now, with red, do. Be direct and to the point. Focus on results and objectives. And, by all means, be brief, be bright, and be gone. Don't hesitate or waffle. Don't focus on feelings. And don't try to take over, which kind of goes back to our pop quiz.